Hey everybody, and welcome to this special on Venus coming back in bounds. So, hi everybody, I'm Amani. I'm a karmic, holistic, astrological life coach, and I like to go in depth in all that I do, and all of my interpretations, especially when it comes to Venus, Mercury, Sun transits, and everything really, are based on Vedic astrology, which is based on where the planets or the luminaries, which are the sun and the moon, are any given time in the sky, and all times are in GMT time as well. So yeah, thanks for listening, and yeah, this happens on the 2nd of December when Venus is in Capricorn, and Venus leaves out of bounds on the 3rd of December at 8:44 a.m. and stays in Capricorn in bounds until the 28th of December at 6:11 p.m. when Venus enters Aquarius. So now I'm just going to go in depth looking at the astrological, practical, worldly, materialistic, political, spiritual, and psychological, emotional, and creative meanings. And then I'm going to talk about the aspects that Venus is making while it comes back in bounds, and these aspects sort of like last us right up until when Venus goes back out of bounds sometime next year. So yeah. When Venus comes back in bounds, there can be an intensified focus on matters of the heart. When Venus was out of bounds, you may have been like, I don't really care about love, Well, not that you didn't care, you just weren't as focused if you are single or self-partnered. So yeah, we can have more of an intense focus on romantic relationships right now. Venus is the planet of love and beauty and values, and it can influence our desires, our attractions, and our connections with others. And when it's in bounds, when it comes back in bounds, we may just feel more passionate, and it can bring new love interests for some of you, rekindle old flames, or strengthen existing relationships. But it's important to approach new or existing situations or challenges that come up in romance with mindfulness and openness. Venus goes out of bounds typically once to twice a year. So the next time Venus goes out of bounds is on the 26th of October. So all I want to say on that actually is Venus goes out of bounds once to twice each year. So ultimately, when Venus is, comes back in bounds, it just can have an effect on our transformative awareness, and it can give us growth in our relationships and within ourselves as well. And we will work more within the bounds of Venus energy rather than going off on one sort of thing. So yeah, in terms of financial opportunities, when Venus comes back in bounds, it increases our ability to manifest and attract wealth, and it provides a window of opportunity for financial growth and stability. It signifies a time when we may find ourselves more in financially favourable circumstances. You could go for a new job, business ventures, side hustles, get unexpected windfalls. It's essential to remain open to these possibilities and take advantage of the cosmic energies play at this time when Venus comes back in bounds. So by aligning our attentions with the flow of abundance, we can use the potential for financial success and create a solid foundation for our future prosperity. And we can work on our inner values as well and think about what are possessions to us. Some of us think people are possessions, and we can get obsessive and jealous over them. And Venus rules Taurus, and Taurus opposed Scorpio, and at the fixed end, Taurus and Scorpio energy can be highly obsessive and possessive as well. So just looking at the ways we may be possessive over status and gaining material things to sort of like increase our self-worth, which goes when we don't have these things, and thinking about how we can build a sense of self-worth that comes from within us, how we can feel happy with what we have now, because truly that's the only way we're going to enjoy what's to come. We have seen it, with lots of stories across the years of those with a lot of money say that they're unhappy and we're like, oh my gosh, if I had all that money, we'd be happy. Money fixes problems, such as, I imagine, you'd be able to do all the things that you want, travel and all the rest of it, but still it doesn't heal automatically that internal psychological, emotional and spiritual baggage and pain and trauma. And yeah, we may be able to get better therapists, you can argue with the money and stuff, but still it doesn't instantly fix problems. So just thinking about how you can create a sense of self-esteem based on what's within you, by understanding yourself and learning to love yourself, and creating a belief system based on your own critical thinking as well. In terms of in politics, when Venus comes back in bounds, political leaders can work to find common ground and work towards more peaceful resolutions, and it just allows us to understand each other better and understand compromise and have open and honest conversations, and this allows for diplomatic negotiations and conversations to thrive, to do well, So yeah, Venus coming back in bounds just encourages, gives the energy to support us to prioritise working with others, being diplomatic, compromising over being aggressive and being disruptive, and just seeking to, work as a team to find solutions to personal or global challenges, if you work in politics and stuff like that, or just bedroom politics if you're just in the couple, whatever. So yeah, during this time we can witness breakthroughs in international relations, treaties and agreements, and nations can come together in the pursuit of mutual understanding and cooperation, and it just allows for positive transformations on the global political stage and within our communities and stuff like that as well. Psychologically and emotionally, when Venus comes back in bounds, it reminds us to take care of our mind, body and soul, and the importance of having that foundation of knowing yourself, loving yourself, understanding, forgiving and managing yourself, loving on yourself as well. So just engaging in self-care practices that increase your well-being. It can be simply taking a break away from your busy schedule for 5 minutes to restore balance and rejuvenate your spirits. You don't have to go to a spa day or anything. You can do it at home or go for a walk, whatever is going to get you into a peaceful state in a non-toxic way, So yeah, it wants us to use, self-care to increase our overall well-being and cultivate a deeper sense of harmony. Spiritually, it wants us to think about our values and desires by reflecting on what our values are and whether they are in line with our authentic beliefs, or whether we need to update our beliefs. Are we diversified in our beliefs? Do we automatically think, one side or one religious belief or cultural belief or one way of living is right over others? And just reconnecting with your inner spirituality and your inner logic can just help you tap into a deeper sense of purpose and meaning and understanding in your life. By exploring your beliefs and values, you can connect to something greater than yourselves, and this can be achieved through various practices such as meditation, prayer, mindfulness, spending time in nature, taking time to reflect and engage in these practices, or any other tools and activities you research that can help you find inner peace, clarity and a sense of unity with yourself, all your different personality traits and the world around you. So yeah, symbolically, Venus coming back in bounds can inspire us to embrace our creativity and just, be more in love with aesthetics and stuff like that right now as well, and encourages us to express love and beauty in more profound ways, rather than just overindulging, spending money and being materialistic about it. Just, thinking about quality ways to get in touch with your more sensual, effective side, your more loving side, whether it be through listening to music or, viewing art, making art, or just connecting with others on a deeper level. So now I'm just going to talk about the positives and negatives and overall best use of Venus coming back in bound. So positively, it allows us to improve our relationships and form new ones, and it can increase our creativity. But negatively, the intensity of emotions can just lead to us, having power struggles with ourselves and others, confrontations, and we can be tempted to overindulge in luxuries or intoxicating substances. And the best way to use this energy is to maintain balance in all areas of your life. Focus on maintaining healthy relationships with others and yourself. Explore being more creative and being mindful of your financial decisions, and practicing self-care and self-reflection can help you, overcome emotional challenges that come up at this time. And just try and be open and honest with yourself and others, and set boundaries, respect boundaries professionally, personally and financially. And doing this can prevent, impulsive actions or reactions that you may regret later on. And to stay practical and grounded can lead to a fulfilling experience when Venus comes back in bounds. So now I'm going to talk about the aspects that Venus is making. So it's making a semi-square to the Sun and to Saturn as well, and also a trine to Venus. So the semi-square between the Sun and Venus can make us really have tension between our personal needs and desires right now and the need for external validation. And this can, lead and add to moments of self-doubt and frustration in relationships, because remember, Venus is in Capricorn as it goes back in bound. So, and that can kind of make us turn, cold of our emotions. So we have to be mindful of how we express our affection, and we may have to, balance our need for desire with the reality of life, different commitments, routines, priorities, values. Venus's semi-square to Saturn again brings those increased feelings of, sort of like doubt as well, feeling restricted and not really wanting to be creative or romantic right now. We can feel as though we are being tested in the matters of love and commitment right now. It supports us in reevaluating what truly matters to us, which is what we're meant to be doing when Venus is in Capricorn anyway. It can make us more spontaneous and innovative. This is Venus is trying to Uranus I'm talking about here. So this energy, makes us be able to think outside of the box. So the challenges that come, this energy can help us to solve them, and it can inspire us to break free from routine, explore new avenues of self-expression and connection, and it can sort of like help us feel liberated and embrace freedom, and to let go of the things we need to let go of as well. And all in all, it's just a nice, playful energy that can help balance, the seriousness of Venus in Capricorn. Venus also makes a sextile to Neptune, a conjunction to Pluto, and a square to the midheaven. So the sextile with Neptune allows us to have more empathy, being more compassionate to ourselves and others, being more imaginative in our approach to relationships. So another aspect that helps us solve problems. It helps us to be creative and romantic as well, which counteracts the energy that can make us cold. But we need to be cautious of falling into escapism, overindulging in intoxicating substances, people and stuff like that, because all Neptune energy on the negative end can add confusion, make us disillusioned, make us susceptible to ignoring red flags, manipulating others and being manipulated as well, and just having too high expectations. So yeah, enjoy this energy, but make sure that you ask the right questions and do not mislead, or don't watch out for being misled and lied to by others as well. Venus also makes a conjunction to Pluto, so this helps helps us to transform, to dig deep, to see beyond the surface, beyond the lies, so this is really, really good. It also supports us in confronting our desires and the power dynamics in our relationships, and it wants us to be more authentic in our relationships as well, and add more depth and realism. And it can just make us want more intense emotional experiences, which can, be challenging, but whatever happens right now, it wants us to grow and heal what needs to be healed, our unresolved psychological, emotional and spiritual wounds. And the square to the midhaven allows us to embrace open communication. We can feel some pressure to conform to other people's expectations, and this can add to the conflict in our life right now, in our professional and personal life. But if we set clear boundaries, be aware of our own needs, and try meet others there, but don't let others walk over us, and respect other people's boundaries, this energy can make us, shine in our careers, or it puts a spotlight on us, thinking about whether we're in the right careers, So also there's a T-square between the Sun in Scorpio, Mercury in Scorpio, and Saturn in Aquarius, and Jupiter in Taurus as well. And so this adds to the intensity, but allows us to self-reflect on our relationships and behaviours. So this T-square really pushes us to reassess our values, especially those around intimacy and trust, and it can push us to dig deeper into ourselves and confront our hidden truths within ourselves and our relationships. And it wants us to consider how we express our thoughts and feelings, and just really confront hidden truths, not only in our relationships, as I said, but within us. Saturn in Aquarius, again, allows us to be more responsible and disciplined, and, it wants us to find a balance between personal freedom and a commitment, because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and although Saturn's in it bringing the rules, Aquarius is making us want to think outside the box. So this T-square also allows us to find some stability in our plans and take practical actions because of Jupiter's in Taurus energy as well. And it just allows us, it can bring stubbornness, but it also allows us to be fixed in our mind, but it also can make us consider the other person's point of view, because Jupiter expands everything. So it can make us more stubborn, but it can make us more optimistic as well. And we just need to make sure we find the balance between a need for depth in our relationships right now, and allowing ourselves to embrace wanting more independence and to transform in the ways that we need to in our life, being open to new possibilities. As Venus comes back into bounce. So now I'm going to talk about the karmic meanings and lessons and past life recollections that may come up when Venus comes back in bounce. So on the karmic level, it's an opportunity for us to reconcile, heal our relationships, repair things within ourselves, our own thought patterns, healing, and giving ourselves closure on our past relationships, past ways of being in the world, so we can give up self-destructive habits under this influence. It promotes all forms of self-love and learning to letting go of our past hurts and unforgiveness and grudges, and just forgiving ourselves and others for past wrongdoings, and knowing that we're all humans and we make mistakes. It encourages us to approach relationships with kindness, compassion and understanding, and build harmony in our connections, and bring more mutual respect and love into our relationships as well. In terms of past life recollections and dreams and memories that may come up, unresolved relationships from our past lives or current lives, heartbreak, rejection, things like that, unresolved issues from them, or dreams can happen that give us a sort of deja vu feeling, or strong emotional reactions towards certain individuals we meet right now or meet again, and this can indicate a deep soul connection or unfinished business that needs addressing in this lifetime. And just to give some perspectives, the older soul you are, so just imagine some of us have lived 100 lives, some 1,000, some 1,000,000, who knows, So as we go on, we can have more soulmates. So I'm wanting to break people out of the thinking, and of myself, I've broken myself out of the thinking that, we only have one soulmate or two of them. If you believe in reincarnation, that we've been here before, you've been here before, and if you say you're an old soul, you've had many, many lovers, so you've got many, many soulmates. And this is not to be blasé about it, but this is for me to get the point across that for me, whether a relationship, someone's your twin flame or not, is always on the, the proofs in the pudding that you make together. So is the relationship healthy or toxic? And we're not saying the relationship needs to be 100% perfect, but if there's too much abuse and there's damage to your own psychological, emotional and physical well-being and other people as well, and your partners and stuff, you need to just rethink and putting it into perspective that, hey, if I'm an old soul, I've got many, many soulmates, just helps you not get stuck in toxic relationships and patterns. So, as I said, some of you may, meet someone and it makes you feel like you've got unfinished business that needs to be addressed in this lifetime. So, for example, someone may feel suddenly drawn to a particular person that they've never met before, only to discover later that they shared a significant bond in a past life, and this rediscovery can provide valuable insights into your current relationship dynamics if you've got one, or you may think about starting one. But whatever happens now can facilitate, health and growth if you're open to it. But remember, you just need to keep in mind just to make sure that, sometimes these experiences, we can cling to them. You may feel like this person's meant to stay forever, but sometimes they're only meant to stay for a season, for a time. But whatever happens now is trying to teach you a lesson, and that's what you need to hold on to the most. If the relationship's healthy, if you meet someone new right now, great, go for it. But if it's toxic, then rethink about, what lives inside of you that makes you open to toxic relationships or attract them to yourself. And this is not to say, because to be quite honest, I believe, and we've all got our own brand of crazy and messed upness, so it's all about finding the right people that matches your own brand of crazy. And I think if we all do that, then relationships will be better. So anyway, so now I'm going to talk about in more depth how Venus coming back in bounds can affect relationships. So in terms of family relationships, it brings a sense of excitement and novelty, and it can lead to trying out new activities together and engaging in meaningful conversations. But negatively, there can be impulsiveness and conflicts can come. We can be having a nice family day out and heightened emotions can ruin it, sort of thing. So just watch out for that. Friendships, it can make us more creative and spontaneous in our group activities. We can try out new experiences, and this can help deepen the friendship. But misunderstandings and disagreements can come up due to miscommunication or unrealistic expectations. So just try and be realistic with the plans. And also, as I said, forgiveness is a key word here, and understanding, assert your boundaries, respect others, of course, as always, but also look into ways to cooperate with others as well. In terms of co-worker relationships, we can see an increase in collaboration and harmony as it encourages us to be more diplomatic, and this can lead to successful teamwork and completion of projects which we can complete more efficiently. But negatively, misinterpretation of intentions or blurred boundaries can get in the way in our professional relationships, and this can lead to confusion and add to the conflicts. In committed relationships, it helps us with romance and passion, as I said, gestures of love and appreciation such as cooking meals, writing poetry and stuff like that can really make you feel stronger right now. In terms of hookup relationships, it can just make us feel more liberated and want more adventure in them, and want more excitement and be more sensual. But negatively, again, because of the sensitivity and vulnerability, this can cause conflicts and overstepping of boundaries. So it's important to respect each other's boundaries, state your intentions clearly, don't manipulate, don't lie. If you feel that you are open and want to be manipulated right now, question yourself why that is as well. So we need to be clear in our communication and respect each other's boundaries to avoid misunderstandings in hookup relationships right now. And so for those who are single, Venus coming back in bounds can bring a renewed sense of self-love and appreciation. It can inspire them to focus on personal growth and development and lead to stronger foundation for future relationships. But on the other hand, some singles may feel a sense of longing or yearning for companionship during this time. For those who are self-partnered, when Venus comes back in bounds, it can reinforce their independence and self-partnered status, and it can provide a reminder of the importance of self-care and nurturing your own needs before considering romantic connections. And it can make you more self-aware and accepting, allowing self-partnered individuals to feel more grounded in their chosen relationship status. Negatively, singles can feel lonely and isolated if they struggle with being alone, and self-partnered individuals may face pressure from societal norms that emphasize being in a traditional relationship. So if you do experience any of the negatives, just be gentle with yourself and know that even if you get everybody in the world to like you, 8 billion, there'd be one person, minus 8 billion, one person. Even if you got them 99.9% of the world to like you, 0.01% won't, So the point I'm trying to make is you can't please all the people all the time. To try and learn to please yourself, and this sets you up for a stronger foundation, and you just accept less crap from yourself and others as well, which is always needed. So in terms of career development, the best things for you to do is to try and be cooperative and work as a team, and working with others can just lead to career advancement and just learning things that you never knew that you needed to learn, or so you sharing wisdom with someone, and deepening that connection. But negatively, people can become overindulgent and laziness, and this can lead to a lack of focus and drive, and people letting teamwork down and stuff like that as well. So just try and do your part in the teamwork, and have grace for those, even though some people may always not do their share. But just try and handle the the matter without blowing the gas stick, getting all aggressive and getting stressed and wasting your energy, because a lot of the time this can impact our physical health and our emotional and psychological health as well. So just try and just chill out, but also make sure people don't cross your boundaries, but try and do it in an assertive rather than an aggressive way. In terms of personal development, it allows us to focus on our creativity, have emotional connections with others, and express our affection and seek beauty, appreciate simple things in nature and in our surroundings, and just do things that contribute to your overall well-being. But the fixation on material possessions, as I said, and seeking validation through relationships and products, services and material statuses and likes and social media and stuff like that, can lead to you just depending on others for your self-worth, which is superficial really in the long run, because once your source of self-worth goes, then you're left to deal with you. So it's always best for you to deal and work on your own self-esteem issues from within, so you have that constant source of internal validation, and you can learn to depend on yourself when life is crap, because life does get crap. It's going to be crap at least 50% of the time. That is the truth. So learning to appreciate the storms, and it's not because it's intrinsically crap, it's because we like to have relationships, and sometimes people hurt us. Sometimes astrology is showing me that a transit can come, and someone you depended on for 10-15 years could just be removed from your life because of transits or their chart. So this is why it's always best to, a lot of the time we regret not enjoying the people that were in our lives when they were in our lives. So just learning to train ourselves to enjoy what we have when we have it, and depending on our internal self-love. In terms of spiritual development, it can just bring a deeper appreciation of love and empathy, and we can feel a stronger connection to the beauty of the universe and ourselves and humanity, and just seek more harmony in all aspects of our life as we gain more inner peace and happiness. But negatively, superficial relationships and physical pleasures, can distract you from your spiritual journey and your priorities right now as well. And this can get in the way of not only your higher states of consciousness or, enlightenment and your personal values and other things, but also, your other daily responsibilities like going to work and paying your bills and stuff. So just watch out for that. In terms of educational development, it helps us with artistic and work to do with aesthetics like beauty work and hairdressing and stuff like that, and social sciences like sociology, psychology and stuff. So it allows us to learn these topics more readily and sort of like learn them in a more holistic and balanced way, and we can just be more creatively engaged with content right now, and we can need deeper intellectual connection and emotional insights to help us learn things right now educationally. But also in terms of education, we have to watch out for distractions because of us wanting instant gratification. Even though it can be hard, delaying gratification is one of the best habits you can teach yourself in life, because if you don't, you kind of screw. We've all got pleasure. Pleasure is great. It's beautiful, but we can't have pleasure all the time. So this is when we need temperance and balance. And yeah, there may be phases of our lives where we can have more pleasure than not, because that's the ultimate goal. Doing the crappy stuff so we can get as much pleasure. But if we just go pleasure and then we can't meet the needs of our material rents and other food and daily living and stuff like that, then this is when we're out of balance, and then we can get bitter and resentful and stuff like that as well, because we haven't learned to crack our own selves, learning to manage ourselves, but we all think we can manage other people. So in terms of you learning things, it's important to maintain a balance between enjoyment and focus, and stay focused on your long-term academic or research goals, to ensure a well-rounded experience in your learning or education or experience, that nurtures both your mind and spirit. So now I'm just going to finish up by talking about the best things to do while Venus is back in bounds. So creatives, it's a great time to immerse yourself in your creativity. Professionals should focus on building, balanced relationships with their colleagues, bosses and clients as well, and bringing beauty and creativity into their work. Entrepreneurs should make, sort of like themselves open to ideas that can help them launch new projects and services. Alternative healers should connect more deeply with their clients by creating special tailorized healing rituals or practices that align with the energy of Venus and promote love and healing. Lovers can strengthen their bonds through romantic gestures and deep conversations and shared creative experiences that bring them closer together. Singles can find themselves more open to love and new connections, and this can make it a great time to put yourselves out there and explore new relationships with others. Self-partnered individuals can deepen their relationships with themselves. It's a chance to reconnect with your inner passions and values and practice self-compassion, gratitude and appreciation for who you are as an individual. Consider embarking on solo adventures, exploring new hobbies or interests, and nurturing a sense of independence and empowerment. And just remember to prioritize self-care and set boundaries to honour your own needs and well-being during this transit. So yeah, that's the end of this special on Venus coming back in bounds, looking at it from all angles. I'm Amani, your holistic karmic astrological life coach. Take care and see you next time.